On the road, in the air, on the water. Buckle up. Always wear a life jacket.
Hey there, guys. We're here with Jim Marsh from Swell Kayaks. Jim, you've got a few cool new models. This one in particular is a Scupper 16. Right. So can you walk us through why you decided to come up with this design and how it solved a customer's problem?
Yeah, I met up with Tim Niemeyer, the founder of Ocean Kayak, in 2016. Tim actually started selling sit-on-top kayaks in 1971, and in 1984 he actually roto-molded the first sit-on-top kayak ever done with scuppers in it. Okay. And he called that model the Scupper, the Ocean Kayak Scupper. So Tim was talking about the idea to take the Scupper and make a new model, and that the impetus for making it better would be to drop the paddler in and create a valve system to take any excess water that came into the cockpit out. Okay. So we put the kayak together, and the valve itself took us even longer to create than the kayak, to get it working. But essentially, it's a ball valve that is something you would press down, paddle really fast for about 40-50 yards, and all the water's going to drain out. The ball's going to float back up when you slow down, and water cannot come back into the cockpit.
Okay, can we see that? Is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Bring us through it.
So what you've got here is a system that essentially every sit-on-top kayak, the level of your feet is going to be right here, okay? But on ours, you can see it's way down here, so about 3.5 inches deeper. Essentially having your feet down like a sit-inside kayak. So you get the performance of that, and you don't need the width that most sit-on-tops have. Most sit-on-tops turn kind of bulky, bargy. This one's 24 inches wide. Okay. And if you do get an excess of water in the cockpit, what you're going to do is just press the valve to a downward position. Yeah. And when it's in this downward position, there's a couple of holes. Oh yeah. Right here. That water can actually now drain out of the cockpit, and you're going to need to hit about 4 to 4.5 knots. So going pretty fast to get the Venturi effect, to pull the water out and clear out your cockpit. So that's kind of how it works. And then once you're kind of done and draining, you just kind of pull it back up and paddle away. So that's how the system works. Yeah. And that's why this is 24 inches wide instead of 28, which the original Scupper was.
So that you can get to the speed you need to drain?
Yeah, it's a lower center of gravity, so it's stable at this width. Okay. So what you get is a lot more speed, much more easy to turn, and you get a lot of extreme athletes, females, guys doing the MR 340 race, or people who do a lot of research online, maybe older customers of Ocean Kayak before that model was discontinued, are looking for something like this specifically.
Yeah, it seems like a blend between a surf ski almost and a wreck kayak. Yeah. I mean, I've got customers out there that are doing like 4-mile loops on Lake Washington, and they're getting it done in like 46 minutes, and they're taking this boat out and they're getting the same thing done in about 50 minutes, but this is stable, and their V7 Epic, they're falling in the water half the time, so they prefer to be in this because it's cold water in Seattle. So. No, this is really cool. I'm excited to get it out on the water. Have many people been testing yours here at the show?
Yeah, I've seen this thing out more than any other kayak at this event, and we're super stoked about it. A lot of people haven't seen it yet. We just introduced it this year. I think we got it, the first one's out in March, and we've been running the machine full time ever since.
And you've got a new factory in the U.S. this year.
Yeah. We built a rotomolding factory in central Iowa, and we just made our first kayak on January 4th, and just kind of tooled up and cranked it all the way through the season. So I've really had head down all year learning how to be a rotomolder and calling my consultant and figuring out how to fix this or that. And it's been quite the journey. Yeah, just totally stoked. Getting a lot of good reactions from retailers around the country as we show these boats to people, and trying to expand that a little bit here at the show.
Great. Well, and if people want to learn more about this model or any of the others that you have at the show, where can they learn more?
SwellWatercraft.com.
All right. Thanks so much, Jim.
Thank you, Brenna.